And I'm Maxwell. Welcome to Seriously Cereal. And we have a full office today, so you can expect a little bit of background noise.
Thanks to our patrons, we now post 2 episodes every Saturday.
And you can find out all about Seriously Cereal and watch all the current episodes at our website.
Do you like to eat your cereal dry? Then you're a snacker, like Bowler.
Or do you prefer with milk? Then you're a spooner, like Spoonie.
And today the featured cereal is...
Lower sugar, apples and cinnamon oatmeal. Alrighty, Sherry, welcome back to Seriously Cereal.
Oh, thanks. It's good to be back.
Exactly. It's been a while now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but despite it having been a while, it is still in fact winter. So yeah, we are all spooners in winter because I would not make my guests, or anyone for that matter, have oatmeal dry. In fact, it's actually kind of bad for you. It can get stuck in your throat. It can swell up. It's just like, don't eat oatmeal dry. It's gross. But
I've never heard of it that way, and the only way I know of warming up in a hot cereal is putting water in
exactly.
it. Otherwise,
What's the point of hot cereal if you eat it dry and flaky?
That doesn't sound right.
Oh.
No. So we'll go the old-fashioned.
Yeah, thank you very much. But yeah, so this is by Quaker, as you can clearly tell, but this is actually the lower sugar variety, which I think is pretty self-explanatory, but it is the lower sugar variety of apples and cinnamon, maple and brown sugar, and cinnamon and spice. However, today we're only going to be reviewing apples and cinnamon. But I thought it was interesting to note that this is in fact the lower sugar variety, which I don't think I've ever seen before. Like I
haven't. Anybody who's eating oatmeal, they just think, oh, I'm eating something healthy. So yeah. I don't know if they even pay attention to, well, we need to have it lower in sugar.
Yeah. I guess it goes to show like how much like they add to like instant oatmeal these days, as opposed to like just like regular oats.
Yeah, and maybe in whatever sweetener that they put into the packets, maybe that adds to the calories.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they do it, but they will find out. Maybe with apples and in the oatmeal, then they'll have a way to decrease the amount of calories in the sweetener, because the apples will be part of the sweetener.
Yeah.
It's a natural sweetener.
Yeah, I'd say they like swapped out like the regular sweetener for something a little lower in calories. Maybe like with the maple and brown sugar one, they took out the actual brown sugar and just like put in a similar flavor. But yeah, as someone who grew up with pretty much all these flavors, I'm an instant oatmeal guy.
Yeah, but me too. But this is different for me. I don't think I've ever tried this stuff.
But this is interesting. I'm very curious to see how it holds up. Should we dive right in?
Yeah. Well, let's check this out.
Okay.
Here. Let me, because there's.
Oh yeah, does it have like a unique spell? I know like certain artificial sweeteners do
There's
have
a very
subtle
smell. Apple smell, but it doesn't just come wafting out.
Yeah, well, that's instant oatmeal for you, I think.
Yeah, but what do you think?
Well,
can you? Because
I
don't
really
you can
know.
see the little pieces of apples in there.
Does it seem thinner?
There's
than
not
usual?
a lot. Yeah.
Thinner. Actually, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like
or
thinner
fewer
pieces.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, who knows how much calories the apple part is and how much calories the oatmeal is.
Yeah, it is curious. Like, it makes you wonder, like, when someone comes up with, like, a lower sugar variety, it makes you wonder, like, what the process was to make it lower sugar.
Right.
But, I will say that the thing about apple oatmeal, from Quaker at least, is that it actually does have a lot of apples in it.
Yeah.
Like, as opposed to their, I hate to always criticize peach flavor when you're here, but, as opposed to, like, peaches and cream oatmeal, when I had that, you really couldn't, as opposed to, like, bananas and cream, yes, that's a real thing, strawberries and cream, blueberries and cream oatmeal, you couldn't really taste the peach flavor.
Yeah.
Which, on one hand, for me, would probably be a good thing, but it's kind of because you can't it doesn't have a unique taste, and peaches, for better or worse, does have a unique taste.
Well,
Apples, you can always taste the apple.
thinking that when people buy this and they've never had it, just looking at apples, is it apples and cinnamon? There we go. So if they're older people
Yeah.
buying it for their family or just themselves, and not necessarily just for children or whatever, they might think back to the time of apples and maybe when their mom or their grandma baked an apple pie.
Yes.
And it brings back all those memories of those wonderful smells, coming from the kitchen. Apples and cinnamon.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of these flavors I could almost like see being made back in the day. Like maple and brown sugar, like totally cinnamon and spice.
Sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and so apples and, for apple pie, and especially when we're talking wintertime
actually,
and cold weather.
Oh, yeah. Actually, what's really good? When someone makes an apple pie and it like has like oats in the crust, those are so fantastic.
Yeah, that's a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Like you sprinkle the oats on top, that's like.
Yeah, and then for the, now these are the people that don't really care about the low calories, because then they would just pour on the ice cream on top of the apple pie. And, but, we're not worrying about apple pie and ice cream right now. But that does sound really good. I don't want to get really hungry.
So, if this is the low sugar variety, can we expect them to go the entirely different direction, and in next year they come up with the apple pie with ice cream and whipped cream?
Well, that'll be mine. You just look for that on the stores, and they'll say, "Buy Sherry," But you'll have to give me a little time to work with the manufacturer.
My kids will be like, "Max, can we have the apple pie oatmeal?" I'll be like, "No, you have the low sugar variety. This is for me."
Oh, but the ice cream part won't work very well. Because you pour the hot water over the ice cream.
No, that's like literally
impossible. It would be like a lake, on top of your oatmeal.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But it might taste good.
Maybe they can do like a dehydrated like space ice cream.
That would be good. Yeah.
I've never had space ice cream. I always thought it would be weird. I always wanted to try it for that exact reason.
You work on the spice ice cream, and I'll work on the apples and ice cream. Yeah, for the oatmeal.
Alrighty, enough discussing ice cream melting on top of oatmeal. Let's dive right in. Alrighty, let's give this a try.
Okay, we're
You
starting
can
it
really
up.
see the cinnamon, actually.
Yeah, I can smell the apples from here. I couldn't smell them when it was without the water, but finally now I can smell both the apples and the cinnamon. So.
One of the dogs fighting at the door. No, it's okay. It's okay, baby.
Okay, let's give it up. I can taste a lot.
Yeah.
And, it's been a while since I've had apples and cinnamon without being low fat. But thinking back, I can't really tell much of a difference.
I'd say there's like a little bit of like that artificial like aftertaste that you get with like Splenda and stuff. Have you ever had Splenda? Like that's what I always go to with artificial sweeteners. Like
Splenda, and they have all that stuff.
Yeah.
Sweet. They started with Sweet and Low, and then they went to Equal, and then they Splenda,
I'd say Equal is probably the best if you can get like the off-brand one is actually pretty good too.
Yeah, well, that's Mark's favorite. Is Equal.
Yeah.
But I mean, some people like it and some people don't. But in fact, my niece calls it rat poison. And so Mark said, "Hey, can you pass the rat poison?" And if there's a waitress at the table, she's kind of looking at you like, "You guys are, you are in a restaurant here. Do you want to shut us down from the health department?"
Please keep your in-jokes to a minimum.
That's right, you know, but he always does. That's him. So, you know, just warning, if you ever talk about, you know, sweet and low, he's going to say rat poison.
Fair enough.
Know, just so you know.
But anyways, aside from that little aftertaste, I'd say it's about the same.
It's not bad.
The aftertaste, I would say, is definitely prominent, but it still has like that apple flavor. There's a good amount of cinnamon in there.
And as long as you like apples, it's okay.
Yeah.
And now, I can just imagine if it's peaches, I know that you would say, oh, it's horrible, it's terrible, I don't care what they did to it.
Uh-huh.
But no, apples and cinnamon, I mean, you know, and there's other things besides apple pie that it thinks of, you know, you think of apple cobbler, or, you know, I mean, there's all kinds of things.
Actually, I think I want to say I've had apple cobbler with like oats on top. I think that was
It's
actually really good.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. I don't like fruit and I don't like apples, but I'll have apples with like caramel apples or like apple pie and I'll love it. What is that? That's so weird.
They could do a caramel apple, Quaker caramel apple.
That would be
oatmeal.
interesting, like caramel.
You know,
flavor.
and they could do it around, you know, Halloween.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Like fall, yeah.
Right, yeah, all through October, November kind of things, but, you know, no, caramel apple, we're not bobbing for oatmeal here.
No.
So that's not gonna work, you know, I'm a spooner, I am not a bobber.
Yeah. The third Seriously cereal mascot, Bucket E. Do you like your cereal dry? Then you're a snacker. Do you like it with milk? You're a spooner. Do you like to smash your face into the bowl and just eat it like a pig eating out of a trough? Then you're a bobber. Stop being a bobber.
Tune in next year. You won't have any idea what we're talking about.
Oh my gosh. Buckety is totally going to appear in a certificate. I don't know when, but he will.
I love it.
Oh my god.
Except keep the sticks out of it, because it's going to poke you right in the eye. So we don't want to do that. No.
Just like the third friend who suddenly shows up at Seriously Cereal is like, you know, he's too, you know, Spoonie and Bullum, these two dynamics together are great. But what if you just smashed your face into it? I feel like the face smashers are not being represented.
We're turning this into a slasher movie. I don't think that's the idea, guys. We're supposed to be, you know,
a horror film of eating cereal.
I know. Who would have thought? You know.
Yeah, because eating cereal that way is truly horrific.
Oh, that makes me. I won't even sleep tonight. I'm going to keep waking up thinking of this stick of caramel apple coming towards my eye. Oh, no, not me.
I would say that the aftertaste does linger a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say the flavor is about the same, but that is, like, as we're speaking, it's, like, still there. That is very interesting. I'm wondering if that's the case with all of them. Or if it's just this one.
Yeah, I don't mind it because it's good.
Yeah.
But if it were a taste that I didn't like,
Yeah.
you know,
then
that would kind of stay on the palate a little bit too long, you know.
I agree, yeah.
But no, it's not bad. It's pretty good. I'm quite impressed. And again, the low fat really doesn't come through, so I can't really compare it to, you know, what side by side, if you had a, you know, normal, original, and then low fat, I don't know if the difference would be that much.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give it I'll give it a solid 3 spoons. I think it does capture the taste of the original flavor pretty well. You know, it has the apple flavor that everybody likes. It has a little bit of cinnamon too. I think the biggest problem with it is the aftertaste from whatever sweetener they used. It does linger, and while not like unpleasant like the Funko cereals, which are terrible, it intrusive, and it's not great per se. You can cut like a quick drink of water takes care of it, but it's just. Ugh. I'd say though, if you don't mind the aftertaste of artificial sweeteners, I would say pick it up, because it tastes about the same despite the aftertaste, which I'd say is definitely a plus in this case.
Well, I'm gonna go one more, and I'll raise you one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a 4, and because I like apple, and so the whatever aftertaste really didn't bother me, and I like apples and cinnamon, and it seemed to blend into the oatmeal really well, and it's instant, so it's quick and it's easy. So I think the other thing is this low fat idea. It tasted fine, because I have eaten a lot of products that say low fat or diet or something, and it loses the taste.
Yeah.
And so, but in this case, I thought the taste was all, whether they used something else to add to it.
Yeah.
But I thought, they did a pretty good job, so I'm going to go with the 4.
Cool. Now, I'd say before we completely wrap this up, it doesn't actually have any actual artificial sweeteners in it. It is low fat. It only has 2 grams of fat, but it actually does still have sugar in it, but it's less than the usual one. Why it's considered lower sugar is because for most of the sweetness, they actually use monk fruit extract, which I had never even heard of before this, so color me educated, I guess. But yeah, it definitely does have a very artificial sweetener aftertaste, but I think it lingers a little bit more, but there actually is no artificial sweetener in this, so yeah, that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I'd say 3. Sherry, you'd say 4?
Yeah, 4.
Okay, I'd say if you don't mind artificial taste, even though there is none, that you should note, I'd say pick it up. Maybe eat a little bit healthier. Just don't shove your face into the bowl and eat like a pig.
So have you tried this cereal, and what did you think of it?
Find out more about Caesar cereal at our website. See you next time.
See you next time.